Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a 5-minute art tip. I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes kind of giving you an insight into my world and hopefully guide you in the right direction to becoming a visual artist. Today I'm going to speak about doing something new. You know, as artists, a lot of times we get kind of locked into a style or a way of doing things. You know, oh, I only work in Illustrator. Oh, I only work in Photoshop. Oh, I do things traditionally. And we kind of get locked in to that efficient way of doing things. Now, I'm all for efficiency because that's where, you know, you can maximize your time spent. And as we all know, time is money. But on the other hand, you need to always be exploring different avenues of not only software, but creative ideas and styles. And what's made me really good and also a commodity that companies can really rely upon is my ability to adapt. My ability to adapt to different styles. My ability to adapt to the particular style that company needs at that time. You know, Disney is a really good example because they have a huge amount of properties that they own, from Marvel to Lucasfilm, you know, Star Wars, to all of their other, you know, Pixar. And all of these are different styles and they're unique to their particular branding. So what I think has made me very, I don't want to say popular because I'm not popular. It has to do with my ability to adapt. So let's say, you know, a producer might come to me and say, hey, Mike, you know, we need to have you do stuff for Pixar. Okay, no problem. I can adapt to that style. Or Lucasfilm. Okay, no problem. I can adapt to that style. Can you do realistic? Yes. Can you do fish? Yes. Can you do all of these things? And they're all in that artistic tool belt. You know, I'll tell a lot of the students what is in your artistic tool belt. Don't limit yourself to doing one particular style. Don't limit yourself to just doing a particular subject or working in a particular environment. You know, if you're only working in digital currently, I really recommend you to go traditional. And hopefully that'll kind of turn the page on your creative sense. Why I'm saying this is I actually am trying something, well, not completely new because I've done it before. Watercolor. I love doing watercolor. But I've never really been that great at it. And I think the reason why is because I never spent the time to really delve into the intricacies that are involved with watercolor. You know, I've worked in watercolor traditionally, but recently I downloaded a piece of software by Smith Micro, the same people that make Clip Art Studio Pro, formerly Manga Studio Pro, which is a piece of software I use a lot. The software that I downloaded and purchased off the internet is called Rebelle or Rebelle or I don't know how you pronounce it. It's Rebelle, so Rebelle. And it's specifically catered to the watercolor environment. So I'm gonna show you a couple little things that I found that I like and kind of give you a run through. I didn't see any videos on YouTube currently for Rebelle tutorials or anybody that's actually using the software because I think it's pretty new. So hopefully this will kind of spread the word about the program because I think it's one of the best watercolor rendering engines I have ever seen in my life. So let's turn you around. Let's see how this goes because I've got my phone in my hand and I don't really have it mounted. Maybe I'll figure out a way here in the next few minutes. But this is the interface. Here's the name of the program right here, Rebelle. And it's a very simple looking interface. What's great about this program is it doesn't load you down with a bunch of stuff on the left hand side as far as menus and stuff like that. It's pretty plain and simple. You get, whenever you first start the program up, you get a basic rundown of the different DPIs and sizing and stuff like that. And the default's pretty good. Here's your tools. It looks like you have a watercolor brush, an acrylic brush, a pastel, a pencil, a pen that looks like some type of a marker, and then you have a spray can, which is like an airbrush, and of course an eraser. And there's different settings within here that I haven't really delved into a little bit. I know that's the drying icon, so whenever you have a wet layer. And what's great too is you actually have a layer palette. On the picture I'm going to show you here in a minute, which I started about 3 days ago, I've got about 45 minutes into it, 45 minutes to an hour. I was able to do like maybe 10 layers with no problem. And the rendering engine is absolutely phenomenal. Here's a navigator similar to Photoshop. Here's your color dropper. And of course, here's your layer palette, and it does have blending modes, which I thought were absolutely phenomenal. And it, you know, for all of you who are using Photoshop and Mega Studio, you will recognize all of these particular layer blending modes. So anyway, why I wanted to show you guys this particular program is something that I don't think I've ever seen. Maybe Painter currently has it, but I stopped using Painter back in Painter 10, I believe, because of how horrible it was on the Mac. It just didn't work at all, in my opinion. And frankly, you know, I don't have time to sit there and wait for things to improve whenever I'm working efficiently. So here we go. So I'm going to use the watercolor brush, and I've got my sizing right here. Okay, and here's the difference. I have dirty brush, I have regular, I have no water, and then I have saturated water. So what I'm going to do, hopefully if I can, there we go. So what's really cool is let's use like a blue color. Okay, it goes down. You can kind of see the brush, and then I want you to watch it. It actually saturates. You can see the paint moving inside, and you see that texture right there. Of course, the phone is picking up the pixels, but if I were to really zoom in, here, let's zoom in. You can actually see the texture. Now, again, I go in and I can actually come here, and you see the brush, just like a regular brush. Now watch it. It permeates into the digital paper. And depending on the pressure sensitivity, I have a Cintiq UX, 21UX with 1024, which is nothing compared to the current Cintiqs. However, I mean, look at this. You go, and it's got the brush, and I can kind of fade off into nothing. And look what it does. This is the current technology that's out there. That looks, I mean, that is absolutely phenomenal. For an illustrator, I mean, you go in and you can just kind of fade off. And look what it does. I get excited about these things, and of course, some of you are going to say, well, I've had that in Painter for years, man. What are you talking about? That's just, you know, I've had it. You know, you're not showing me anything new. Well, you know what? I think it's pretty awesome. And the best thing about this program, look at this, watch this. Watch it. I have never, that's just awesome. So the rendering engine is absolutely phenomenal. And you come down here and you've got your different, you know, here's your pencil tool, and you can set the size. And of course there's quick keys and stuff like that. And the pencil's pretty good too. There's a little bit of latency. You know, you can see it dragging a little bit behind the further and faster I go. But I really, you know, I like it a lot. And it picks up the texture of the paper, which is really nice. So anyway, what I wanted to show you guys was my test that I did. No, I don't want to save this. The test that I did a couple days ago, whenever I first got the program and I started utilizing the tools. I love animals, as a lot of you guys know, so I decided to do a lion. And just something really quick and simple. As you see, my computer. I'm sure that I did something naughty. Okay, here we go. So here's the picture that I did. Really something simple, really something easy. Didn't take me that long to do it. But what was great was if you go in and you can see just the layers. And here's all the layers that I have currently. And of course I'm going to go in and flatten these. But look at the watercolor. I mean, the layering is just absolutely phenomenal. I love whenever I find a new piece of software that I can kind of just merge into my current collection and my current artistic tool belt. But this particular drawing is just a test. It's an experiment. What's great about this program is it gives you all the watercolor benefits without having to go in and, you know, get dirty. And I can change things, and I can basically change the way it looks. This is going to be a great program for like attraction architectural drawings. And I'm getting into those a little bit as well. Anyway, that's kind of the 5-minute art tip I want you guys to see. And the fact that doing something new is something that you should really, really try. Whether it's drawing with pastel, whether it's doing traditional, whether it's getting a new piece of software. And that particular piece of software, you're thinking, oh, that's like $700, $800. Guys, it's on sale now for $19. $19. And whenever you get the little upgrade that basically says you can put it on multiple machines. You know, I have it on 3 machines currently, from my Surface Pro 2 to my Cintiq Companion to my Mac, and you can download it for up to 2 years, no problem. So, and all the free updates, and they have, and I'm sure they're going to have free brushes as well, which is what some of the other companies do. This is a great program. Trying something new. That's what the key to this 5-minute, 7-minute, 8-minute art tip is. Try something new. You know, not only every day, but in life. If you're sitting there in the studio, get out. Go and draw somewhere. If you're sitting, you know, and you're complaining about how large you are, unhealthy you are, get out and do something small. Change. Go for a walk. Go for a 30-minute walk. Trying something new. That's something that we all need to do every single day. And this was my little thing this week. Watercolor has never been in my wheelhouse per se, but I really enjoy the look of it. I think the softness, the quickness of it, I think it really caters and lends itself to concept art, and I really want to get into it. So I'm excited. I can't wait to show you some of the really cool drawings that I'm going to come up with. You know, stick to the channel, please. I just posted day 13 of Inktober, and you know, we've got many days left. I've got some really cool things planned. Of course, I'm working all this in and amongst the other work that I do, so hopefully we won't have any days skipped. But anyway, thank you guys once again, sincerely, for visiting my channel. And if you like what you see, please click the subscribe button. You know, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers to then eventually possibly get into a Patreon situation. To hopefully offset the cost it takes to make the videos and spend the time, you know, the hour and a half a day to bequeath some of the information that I have, hopefully that you guys can receive and enjoy. So thank you guys once again, and we'll see you next time. Bye.